What's going on? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Let's talk about Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. They have a new record entitled External Combustion, and they released that on March 4th. This is the band's second studio outing, and it follows their 2020 debut, Reckless Abandon. And this is a project that I'm really happy to see materialize for everybody involved. Mike started putting this thing together roughly 2 decades ago, but placed it on the back burner to focus on Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And I think that we all know now that Mike's heart and soul, no matter what, was always going to be with Tom Petty and that project first and foremost. So I want to start this thing off by just acknowledging the Dirty Knobs, their patience, their professionalism. 2 decades is a long time to wait for someone to finally come around and be like, all right, let's do this. But I think that that's really a testament to why Mike hand selected these guys and stuck with them for all this time. There's this sense that there's nothing bigger than the music when it comes to the creative process with these guys. And that's what makes a guy like Mike Campbell so special. It's how he's built the reputation that he has. It's how he's become such a big figure over the course of 50 years in music. And it's not just the role that he played with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, which, you know, his entire career with Tom Petty could serve as a fine example of how he was always willing to take a back seat to do what was best for a song and the music in general. I mean, he could have showed up and played a 3-minute solo on every single song, but that's not what it was about. And if you listen to Tom Petty's compositions, they're tight, they're succinct. And so again, he's the type of guy that if you asked him just to play a few notes in a song and that little nuance is all that you think a song needed to fill it out and make it complete, he'll consider that a job well done. And I admire the guy for that reason. That's what I love about him. But I just want to read this list of collaborators because this is what just adds to what makes Mike Campbell so special. Stevie Nicks, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, Tucson's very own Linda Ronstadt. You have Joe Cocker, Don Henley. You have Susanna Hoffs, Rob Thomas, Mary J. Blige. I'm skipping some names. There's so many here. Michael McDonald, Tracy Chapman, Randy Newman, Paula Abdul, Warren Zevon, Aretha Franklin, Jackson Brown, Bob Seger, John Prine, Neil Diamond. You look at the variety of artists here and the impact that he's had, and again, why he's in such high demand by all these different artists. And it's because he's the type of guy that he's probably the least ostentatious musician out there, maybe. He just wants to show up and make a song happen and do what's best for that particular project. So I like his attitude going into this band. I love that, you know, his name might be first on the billing now, which I think after all this time is well deserved, but this is still a band and he still thinks of it that way and not as a solo project. So I like the collaboration and I like the music style on this. It's really fun to listen to this band. You hear a lot of Tom Petty and it's not in a bad way and it doesn't feel like a recycled way. It feels like you hear it in a way that it just makes so much sense as to why Tom and Mike got along the way they did, why they collaborated so successfully for as long as they did. And Mike's voice even a little bit sounds like Tom, sounds like Bob Dylan's at times too, which I really enjoyed as well. But what I like about the sound with this band is that it's a little more raw. It's not as polished as Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And there's definitely a lot more of a genre takeover. Obviously, Southern rock is the big driving factor on this thing, but there's some moments where rockabilly and punk really takes over. And it's, you know, the type of sound that I just don't think you would have ever heard him make with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers or Mudcrunch or, you know, some of those other projects. So I like that Mike's at the helm. This, again, it just makes sense after all these years. I think it's well-deserved, and I really like the way that he's handling it. This thing kicks off with Wicked Mind, just high-powered Southern rock. I heard the Riviera's California Sun, just the way that the song is structured and built. It doesn't necessarily sound the same, but it's got this like Southern rock feel almost with a California rock vibe. Really just like the energy of the track and the way it kicks things off. Leads into your second track, Bridget Bardot, which, I mean, Bob Dylan reference there. I get a kick out of the title and the lyrics and really just bringing the rockabilly feel hard on this song. I like the change of pace and I like the strength of the different influences and the way they're playing on this album. It's got this loose feel, but again, it's what makes it so much fun and what makes them so enjoyable. Your third song, Cheap Talk. I love this song. Big stomping drum with this dark riff. It's minimal in a way that the Velvet Underground did Venus and Furs, but also think of, you know, Sonic Youth and their sound and, you know, even some of the things that Soundgarden did in that minimal way. I think of, you know, a song like 4th of July. But what I love about this song, it's got this chorus that just becomes very Beatlesque. You know, think of Revolver. And then a huge coda. I mean, this song is absolutely amazing. I really dig it. Definitely my favorite. Your fourth song, External Combustion, the title track. Back to that Southern rock feel. I love the bass on this song. Great heavy blues feel. and just a big chunky coda as well. Like the way that song came to a conclusion. Leads into your fifth song, Dirty Job. Great punk energy. Got this slower tempo feel as far as the punk is going, but really just, I like this hard driving sound that's really filling out a lot of these songs. Leads into State of Mind. Nice change of pace here. You get this slow tempo feel of this song. It's got a very strong country feel balanced with rock and roll, and I love the blending of the two. It's nicely well done, and again, it's a nice change of pace to slow this album a bit because it's pretty high energy. Seventh song, Lightning Boogie, is going to pick things right back up. You got this excellent rockabilly feel, definitely a blues element. It reminded me of a band, The Living End, and really enjoyed the. I love the rim percussion, just using those sticks to drive on the stair, and then when they hit the chorus, it fills out and it starts rocking. But really well done there. Rat City is your eighth song. Really reminded me of Rick Derringer a little bit in Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo if you slowed that down, and again, structurally is more of what I was looking at on that song, but I like the rock and roll feel. It just big rocker. Your ninth song, excuse me, in this lifetime. It's beautiful. It's got these excellent Spanish influences, and I love the way he's hitting the harmonics on his guitar on this thing. It Is Written is your penultimate track, galloping rockabilly song. I love the energy. It's a great penultimate track, which leads into Electric Gypsy. Your final song is phenomenal. It's this mid-tempo rock and roll country feel as well, and I like the energy. I like the way that it fills out and incorporates pretty much all of the things that are working on this record into one big song. That makes me really excited to see this band do stuff in the future. And if they come near Tucson, Arizona, I'm definitely going to buy a ticket to check these guys out, because I think it's really fun again to see Mike at the helm leading a project, even though he is just a member of the band. But I love his attitude, and I love that he's willing to take that back seat. There's no ego there. Don't have to be ashamed about the car I drive. Just glad to be here, happy to be alive. We're going to vinyl please this thing, and I hope you enjoy listening to this record. I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things to help me blow this project up in 2022, and stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.